You know, we hear this word awakening thrown around a lot, but what does it actually mean? Especially today when we're buried in information. Well, we're going to dive into a really profound lecture that lays out a modern path to enlightenment, a journey that goes way beyond just collecting facts.
So let's just cut right to the chase, right? Is knowing more stuff, is that the same thing as true awakening? I mean, we're all swimming in an ocean of data, but does that actually make us any wiser? Is just collecting facts the same as a real, genuine awakening? Well, the lecture we're looking at says absolutely not.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll tackle the illusion of knowing. Then, we'll get into the fascinating idea of the energy of knowledge. After that, we'll see why finding a purpose beyond self is a total game changer. And we'll wrap it all up with a final piece of the puzzle, meeting the teacher.
Okay, let's jump into part one, the illusion of knowing. This is all about understanding the massive difference between just having information and having real insight.
And this really breaks it down perfectly. You see on the left, you've got knowing. That's kind of passive, right? It's just getting info, maybe hearing what someone else figured out. But look at the right side, awakening. That's a whole different ballgame. It's active. It's about you digging in, studying the meaning for yourself, and doing that deep inner work. Knowing is just the starting line. The real journey to awakening begins after that.
All right, so once you get past that first step, this is where things get really fascinating. We start talking about knowledge not as just, dry facts, but as a kind of energy, a powerful force that actually comes with a huge amount of responsibility. So the lecture gives this incredible definition of knowledge, jashik. It's not just stuff you read in a book. Think about this. It's described as the compressed energy and soul of all of humanity's history. Thousands of years of life, sacrifice, all packed into this thing we call knowledge. That totally flips our modern view on its head, doesn't it? It's not some product to buy. It's a living, breathing force. So what that means is, when you really possess this knowledge, you're not just memorizing dates and names, you're actually absorbing the concentrated essence of all your ancestors, of everyone who came before. Wow, I mean, that's an incredible weight to carry, but it's also this amazing connection to the whole human story.
And when you're holding all of that immense energy, you can't help but ask yourself a fundamental question. Who am I? Who am I now that I'm carrying all of this inside me?
And right after that question, another one follows pretty much immediately. It's the question of what to do. Okay, I've got this power, so what am I supposed to do with it? And that question of purpose, that's the big one. That's the real challenge.
And here's the answer, the big turning point. The way you solve that dilemma is by finding a purpose that's bigger than just you. That right there, that's the key that unlocks all the potential you've been building up. But there's a really serious warning that comes with this. If you try to use all that knowledge, all that energy, for your own selfish gain, for greed, nature itself actually puts up a roadblock. And all that knowledge you worked so hard for, it just becomes this heavy, crushing weight instead of a source of power.
This really lays out the two paths crystal clear. You go down the road of private ambition and you just hit a dead end. You actually become a prisoner of the very knowledge you wanted. But if you choose a public purpose, it's like a switch is flipped. The power is unlocked. You stop being a container and start being a channel, a conduit for good that can genuinely help other people.
And listen, public purpose can sound kind of huge and intimidating, right? But it doesn't mean you have to go out and save the world tomorrow. It can start really small. It can start with just wanting to help your neighbor. And then from there, it can grow to your community, to your country, and eventually to all of humanity. It's like your purpose expands as your understanding does. Okay, so let's say you've done it. You've gathered the knowledge. You've found your purpose. You've done all that hard inner work. You're almost there, but there's one last, absolutely critical piece of the puzzle. And that's meeting the teacher. Think of it like this. At this stage, you are this incredible high-performance engine. It's perfectly built, it's full of fuel, it's ready to roar, but you don't have the key to start it. You have all this amazing potential just sitting there, waiting, but you need someone to come along and show you how to turn the ignition. And this is a really important way to think about what a teacher, a sising, is. This isn't a professor who's going to give you another lecture or more facts. Nope, you've already done that part. This teacher shows up when you are ready, for one very specific reason, to teach you how to use all the knowledge you already have.
So you don't go out and find this teacher by looking them up online. Their arrival is a natural result of your own hard work. They come to you because you've done the preparation. Their appearance is basically proof that you've put in the effort and that you've earned that final piece of guidance.
And when that moment happens, when you get that guidance, that's the awakening. And it's described as something you feel in your very core, a feeling like your heart is literally expanding, an energy, a fire, rising up inside you. You're just filled with this overwhelming desire to go out and contribute. And just like that, everything clicks. Your path forward is suddenly crystal clear. That engine we talked about, it finally roars to life.
So there you have it. The path is laid out for us. You start with information, which becomes energy. That energy needs a purpose, and that purpose prepares you for activation. So the final question, really, is for you. As you're out there gathering your own knowledge, figuring out your direction, are you getting yourself ready for that final, life-changing step?